Hi, welcome to another Take It to the Max. This podcast today is going to be all about AI and Mythbusters. I'm Vicky Harper, Marketing Manager here at IT Desk, and joining me today is Ben, our Saint team lead. Hi, Ben.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Today we're going to talk about AI and myth busting, and is AI taking over people's jobs? There's lots and lots of people that are not embracing it because they feel that their jobs are at risk,
Yeah.
and then there's other people that are relying on it probably a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So shall we get into it?
Let's begin.
Fab. What is your thoughts then on that? What do you think AI is taking over people's jobs?
No, not at the moment, and I don't foresee it happening in the next 2 to 3 years either. Currently, AI is more of a make your job easier. It's a task reliever. The monotonous tasks that you do day to day.
Yeah,
that's what AI is good for, and that's what people should be using it for.
So interestingly, there you said in the next 2 to 3 years. What do you think it might evolve into in the next 2 to 3 years?
I think at the state of progression, it will evolve to get more smarter.
Yeah.
But as well as that, I'm seeing a lot of legal legislation being put around it, especially in the EU.
Okay.
I think the EU's developing their own AI legislation to monitor it and make sure it's used in a non-harmful way.
Yeah. There's those posts in there and those images that have been used, and obviously that's not what AI is there for really, but it is being used in the illegal form, let's say. What do you think in a work's perspective? I know that there's lots of factories that use robots and using robots to pack and using some AI to do those manual jobs that some people can't do and can do it faster. Are you thinking that AI could come in on a more technical level and take people's jobs in years to come?
Well, it'd be I'd be lying to say it won't take some of the jobs that exist in there, but I think the jobs that it will take, they'll be ones that are being automated anyway and are already existing under threat.
It's not. Yeah, I understand that. So it's the jobs where you on the telephone where people are talking to a robot to get them through to the banking, for example. It's taking that and those checks out of it.
Like call center jobs or secretaries is another big one that they might see it may take over.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we've never had a secretary here at IT Desk, but we're using AI to minute our meetings to come up with strategic plans and help us plan from those meetings to make sense of what everybody's said in our conversations. And that is faster. It's more knowledgeable. It knows who's speaking at what time and who said what. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. And that also saves time for somebody taking minutes. Not that we've ever employed anybody to take minutes, but it means that we can be more strategic in our meetings and get things moving faster. It gives us an action plan. It's just fab. And that's one exciting thing about Copilot. It's not replacing a job. It's just taking that monotonous task away where somebody then could in the meeting doesn't have to necessarily write word for word what somebody said and then try to remember, what were you going to do? Where was that point coming from? Who said that they were going to do that? It takes all that blame away and it takes that so that person can really be involved in meeting and around confidentiality as well, because if somebody has to sit in a meeting that's confidential and you need to talk, potentially you could be needing to talk about the minute taker. That's where again AI comes in. And for me, I just think that's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think, going on to the confidentiality. Going on the people that have already embraced AI. I know a lot of the free tools, they train on your data. And it's not in its secure environment like you'd expect your secure your secure files or your financial files to be.
Yes, so we're thinking about around the ChatGPT, the free one.
Claude, stuff like that.
I've not heard of Claude. What's Claude?
That's just another AI agent,
Oh, okay.
I know we use Copilot for Business, and they have strict mandates to say that they'll never train your data. It stays within your tenancy and within the UK for us specifically.
Yeah, and it saves, it only looks at the data that we put in and it stays within our tenancy. So for people that don't understand what that means, it means that it just stays within your SharePoint and looks and finds documents within that if you're needing to reference anything, and it learns from your company's data. It doesn't learn from other companies' data, and no other companies can access your data. Whereas if you were to put something in ChatGPT, it's in the abyss. Everybody can learn from that, and it can reference some things. So if you were to ask it a particular question around IT Desk and what their marketing strategy is for the next 12 months, it could go and have a look and find it if it was in there. No, I understand that. That's why we do what we do, and we're seeing more customers now taking up Copilot, aren't we?
Yeah.
And they're embracing that within businesses, and I know that we're offering some training as well with Carly and Uting around Copilot. So if any of our customers are listening and we've not been in touch yet, contact us if you do want any of that training. That's just a little plug there. And anybody that's struggling, anybody that's not a customer that might want anything around that, please get in touch with us. But so sorry, we've gone off on a tangent there, haven't we? It's not like me at all, is it, to go off on a tangent about it? But so talking about the security side of things then, how does AI help you in your job from the security side?
I think the biggest save that it has is alerts and technical alerts will come with a big block of text.
Okay.
And it's able to analyze that quickly and make it digestible for someone to read easily and give actionable insights on where we can do to improve our security posture.
Oh, very good. I didn't realise it did that. I know Carly is a new member of staff. Well, she's been here a good couple of months now, and she's a data analyst, isn't she? So she looks at all of the data that comes in. Does she use Copilot then and AI to help her in her job?
Obviously, Carly, not even been here 6 months yet, but obviously she didn't come from a technical background.
No.
But obviously Copilot has helped her supercharge her technical knowledge.
Yeah.
Especially around cybersecurity. To a level that she wouldn't have without Copilot.
Yeah, that's good. She sent me a document earlier actually around Enforcer and the key takeaways about how we're implementing it and how it helps the customers, and it's all in a digestible format. And she said she took some information and asked Copilot to write it in a digestible format. Now I know we all can do that with Copilot and with your other chats like ChatGPT and with your other AI bots. Is there anything interesting that you're seeing or that we're going to be looking at in the future that's not just around copy and the marketing things that we send out to customers?
One I've seen with Copilot is one that they're pushing out on their Frontier program called Copilot Opal.
Okay.
So where you can design agents to do specific tasks on the web.
Oh, wow.
So you'll be able to ask it to, for example, in your case, maybe do some market research.
Okay.
And it'll be able to browse those websites for you and make tasks. So it could, for us, maybe if you had like a timesheet you needed to fill out, it could go to that website, fill out that timesheet for you and submit it.
All right. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I didn't know that. I know that there were agents. I just didn't know how we could use them. Do you think then because that wouldn't necessarily replace my job, but that'll enable me to work faster?
It's like the way I see it is having little workers underneath you.
Yeah.
So you'd have a little worker that does this, a little worker that does that's their task.
Right. Okay.
For jobs that you'd normally do, you'd delegate them out
to an AI agent rather than poor old Alex having to pick up everything that I can't do. Bless her. Okay. So then I'm assuming then the jobs will still be there, because if for the younger generation, for example, or an apprentice that we might take on to understand what that information, and do we need to double check it? Well, is there any referencing that we need to do with it?
Certainly, going back to obviously the part where you keep your job, I think even in the legal legislation, there's nothing that says AI is the be all and end all of that decision. The human has to be the final decision maker. It's only advising.
Yeah.
It's it's not telling you what to do.
I wanted to just try to reassure people that might worry about that. So if we're giving it all this knowledge and we're growing it, we're only growing it to enhance to enhance our business, and for other people that's what they could use it for, to enhance their business and enhance their workers, rather than it taking over.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things that people have been pushed on to adopt it, is because obviously they may not want to use it, but if their competitors are using it,
it's that competitive advantage, isn't it? We've seen that, haven't we? We've actually seen that happen, where competitors started using it and their growth has just gone through the roof, and they've needed additional IT support around it, which is all good for us. It's a win-win for us, and they've recruited more staff because they need people to be able to understand what and implement those agents. So that's good. Is there anything that you can think of that would be at risk? Anybody's job that would be at risk in let's say in the next 5 years? Not just in the technology sector, but I've seen it, and I don't know, it was on the internet, so I don't know how true this is. And I'd read an article on it, but they're using it in, I want to say it were Australia, but I can't actually remember companies, don't quote me, country, so don't quote me, but they're using them to clean hospitals and to sanitize environments, so that to stop cross-contamination, which again I think is great, and it's a job that some people might not like to do. I know that it's a necessary job, but if we're stopping disease control and cleaning hospitals and spraying walls with disinfectant and getting to those places that humans can't actually get to, I think that that's a good thing. And it was saving some hospitals a ridiculous amount of time, so that the nurses, instead of going to find bedding, the robot would bring the bedding to them, and so that they could make that bed. And it was saving. We went to a restaurant in Sheffield, and they'd got a robot that fetched our meal out, fetched our drinks to us, and sang happy birthday to Steve with the meal and a birthday cake with candles on. Now that again, that's fantastic. It saves waitresses and waiters times bringing those drinks. I know you don't necessarily have that human interaction, and if something's wrong and you want to speak to somebody, there's always that element, but it's less spilt drinks, it's meals faster to your table, so they're hotter. And it does need somebody to map it out, and it needs somebody to be able to operate it if something does go wrong. But I do think that, again, I'm embracing it. I'm quite enjoying it, all these new things.
I think going on things like that, I think one thing I heard is when obviously furniture started getting manufactured, stuff that says it's handmade still gets more value than store-bought furniture. Something, and I think that'll happen the same for like creators such as like music or film and things like that. I think people would still want that human-made, handmade.
100%. I totally agree with you. I've not thought about anything along them lines. We'll not have a robot chef cooking his meal, will we? So going back to some myths versus realities, do you think AI is at its limit? Do you think it's got any limitations?
At the moment, it obviously we've discussed and touched on it briefly. It can't do everything in a business, and there's certain stuff that you probably won't want it to do. Obviously, like I said, some of the more stuff that requires a human touch, or some of the more sensitive matters in the business, or such as financial information,
100%.
Obviously needs to be checked and verified by a human.
Or
in your business decisions as well, it can advise on, but obviously can't be making business decisions.
No, I totally agree. And we use AI to enhance our marketing, as in, so it'll do as a first draft, or we'll tell it what we want to write about or to talk about. We'll ask it how we'd use that information, and I ask it, because I am dyslexic, I know everybody's heard this before, but I ask it to sense check for my grammar as well, and to make sure it makes sense, because what I'm saying sometimes doesn't necessarily correlate to the point I'm trying to get across. So it's good from that aspect, but again, it's my decision at the end of the day what goes out, and it won't be able to take those jobs and that away from us.
I think one other thing that people often miss when they first encounter AI is putting in a correct prompt or not providing enough information. AI will probably go off tangent or give you something completely different if you just give it a one sentence question what you're after. and not provide any additional details.
No, that's a good point actually. Yeah, because sometimes it does go off on tangents, and you think, oh, that's a good idea and that's a good tangent, but that's not what I need right now, and I need this. So we've set up in marketing department some, I don't know if they're called agents, but we've got some prompt keys that we use, and we've got a sheet of prompts that we ask it, and again, it helps me with tone of voice. So if we're writing an article or something for a member of staff, we've got their tone of voice written down on how they speak and what language they use, and we use that to write them a blog that's come from them, that's in their tone of voice. Obviously then they check it, tweak it, read it, but 9 times out of 10 it's quite spot on, rather than it just being produced, because you can tell when something's produced by AI, can't you? So it still needs the human
there's
side.
There's tools now that can detect AI, or detect, such as like how we have detectives and forensic analysts who can detect if that's your handwriting or your way how you type something.
All right, okay.
We've got tools now that can detect.
That's good.
If it's AI, and possibly detect what AI version it is. If it were Claude or Copilot or GPT, it could even determine that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh wow, fab.
Yeah, going on for, you mentioned prompts.
Yes, yeah.
Copilot for Business does have prompt gallery.
Okay.
So any prompts that you do create, you could share them with Alex or anybody within the business, any good prompts that you found.
Oh, right, okay. To be fair, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I probably could do with coming on one of these training sessions about it, to be fair.
Yeah.
It probably could do more than I actually think. But it's just when you're that busy, you just don't always get time to.
I think that's one of the other limits as well. With it being a tool's only as good as how you use it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% it is. And if I'd used it more, I'd probably get used to it.
It's not just going to, you're just going to buy a license and magically you're going to save time. You're going to have to invest some time into learning the technology first.
Yeah, good shout. Do you think we'll see any businesses adapting and employing people to work AI for their business? So like an apprentice, I need you to come in and learn how create AI for us. And do you think we'll have jobs within businesses who looks after their AI? Like we have a health and safety officer and we have a fire regs officer. Do you think we'll see those people within businesses?
I think a lot of businesses, it'll fall under cybersecurity or their IT team first.
Okay.
To manage in terms of a security point of view.
Yeah.
A lot of new people, especially a lot of younger people, I think they will come in and already know how to use it.
Yeah.
Just because
they
adapt quicker, and they're probably using it a lot more than us anyway.
Yeah, I've had to stop my daughter using it for her homework.
Yeah.
So we saw her marks dramatically increase, and I'm like, "Oh, this is good. Where have you learnt that, and how are you speaking like that?" And she's like, "Oh, I just use chat," and I'm like, "Ruby."
Oh, that's interesting. Does the school have any AI detection?
They don't have any AI detection. They just know that she's not rated because that's not how good she is in school.
Yeah. It's not our sector, but it's probably a big problem point and a big talking point in schools and academia at the moment.
Yeah, I was thinking if people were doing courses where they have to write up lots and lots of paperwork and they have to submit it in their own writing, it has to be 1,000,000 pages long.
Dissertation.
Yes, sorry, that's the word.
Yeah.
This is perimenopause for everyone, ladies and gents. This is what it does to you. Yeah, dissertation. So I wonder how do they use AI to help them write it, and can they use AI? Is that allowed or not?
Yeah. Well, I know one second-hand fear. I don't know how grounded in truth. Obviously. I've never studied in that field, but people are scared that doctors and nurses be able to pass their courses using AI. And would you trust somebody that's technically it's cheated?
Cutting you up. I know I've done an AI course on this. Oh, really? Although we are seeing lots of bots doing operations now.
Yeah.
With help, but yeah. So the last myth that we're going to cover is AI. Can AI think like a human?
No. It's it thinks similar, such as spotting patterns. Obviously, I think the human brain works in a similar way, in such as spotting patterns in things. I think one thing it can't do is creative thinking, or if the data it's been trained on is never appeared, it can't go outside that box and create that thing. I think one common example that I was aware of and I actually tested myself is asking Copilot to create me a picture of a glass of wine that's overflowing.
Okay.
Obviously, if you try and search for a picture of that on the internet, it'd be very rare to find anything like that, because obviously, usually a glass of wine you have halfway down a glass.
Yeah, or it's I'm drinking it.
Nobody's overflowing a glass of wine. So every time
it's a waste.
Yeah,
sorry.
Every time I asked Copilot to do that, it'd always create it not overflowing. It would always be half full or just a bit below. And I went, "Oh no, you're wrong. Can you create me overflowing?" And it still couldn't get it. So that's going on the data it's been trained on.
Okay.
It's seen loads of pictures of glasses, loads of pictures of wine, loads of pictures of wine in glasses, but it's never seen a picture of
wine overflowing.
Yeah, and that's why it couldn't create it.
Very good point.
Yeah.
So it can't think like a human.
It lacks the creative thinking and thinking outside the box.
Okay. And going back to the pattern spotting, then, do you use any of that in your role? So if you've got, do we use AI around the pattern spotting things to help us?
Yeah, I think the biggest one that we use in the Saint team is anomaly detection.
Okay.
So detect how a user normally signs in, where they're signing from, what device they're signing, what times they're signing from.
Yeah.
Get a baseline of that, and then if there's a detection outside of that, say if they normally log in the United Kingdom and then suddenly they log in Brazil, we'd get an alert for that.
Okay, and then we act on that, and contact them, or
to make sure it's legitimate.
Yeah, to make sure that okay, that's good. Didn't realise that. Is there anything else that we look at then around that then, just to ensure that obviously with the pattern spotting, is there any other patterns that we look at in any other way?
That'll be the biggest one. I know another use that we use it for is correlating for intelligence and news.
Okay.
Especially cyber news. Since IT changes every day, it's good to have Copilot on hand to digest that news and give us it in headlines. In a easy to read format.
Oh, that's good. Is there anything that you're spotting on the, I don't know how to say it, not the dark web, but on the misuse side of AI and around that? Is there anything that we need to, or people might need to be aware of while we're talking about that? Is the myth that these dark agents are out there as well as good agents, let's say?
Yeah, I think the scariest one that I've seen is, at the moment, there's two threats. One is it's insider risk, I won't call it insider risk. It's people developing apps using AI but not checking them.
Okay.
I've even seen adverts for you can develop this app with no code and talk about what app you want, and AI will develop it. There's recently been a researcher found that like 100 apps that were built using AI were leaking data left, right, and centre.
Okay.
Out about personal details about people were inputting into this chat. So
wow,
if people were putting in some sensitive details or some nasty stuff in there, were getting leaked out.
Wow.
And that's just because AI had built the app and
not put any security.
Nobody had checked the code. Nobody with expertise checked the code. That's the biggest one I see at the moment. Is I think just be careful with what apps you're using, especially if it's AI created.
How would we know? Would it say in App Store or wherever we're downloading them from?
Yeah, it should say that it's an AI created app in the App Store.
Okay, that's good. I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I don't very often download any new apps, but I suppose lots of people do, and their children do as well. That's one of the big things, isn't it, around that.
And then the other one is AI malware. So obviously it's lowered the bar for going on that same point that I made regarding people creating apps. These are actual malicious actors using it to create malicious apps. So obviously they don't need a coding expertise, and they're just creating malware with AI.
Wow. So it's scary, really, that side of it. Although it's really, really good for businesses, but it's do you think it's like an untamed beast at the minute, AI?
I think it's tameable. I think, like with anything, it's the people behind it. It's the tool. Like what I mean, one saying is, guns don't kill people, people do.
Yeah.
It's that that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. It's whoever's behind that keyboard at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Is there anything that you'd like to wrap up on and say, or if anybody's got any questions around AI and how to implement it within their business, and if they've got any questions that they've heard that it might be a myth or is it a fact, could we help them with?
I think, do your independent research or speak to an expert like us for implementing it into your business, because AI is growing each day. There's a lot of stuff that you can get wrong, and obviously if you start using an AI product and put your details in there and start implementing it in your business, you could be inadvertently leaking your data.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for your time, Ben. Yeah. And thanks everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.